Act 1. The World Without Wisdom. A very long time ago, the world was a very quiet and simple place. In those days, people did not know how to do many things. They did not know how to plant delicious yams, how to weave colorful kente cloth, or even how to make iron tools to build strong homes. The world was waiting for something special. High above the clouds, in a magnificent golden palace, lived Nyame, the great sky god. Nyame held all the wisdom of the universe. He knew how to make the rain fall, how to make the crops grow, and how to heal the sick. He kept all this priceless knowledge locked safely inside a beautiful clay pot. One day, Nyame looked down at the earth and felt sorry for the people. He called for Kwaku Ananse, the clever spider. "Ananse," Nyame said in a voice like thunder, "take this pot. Inside is all the wisdom of the world. I want you to share it with all the people, so they can live happy lives." Ananse bowed low. "I promise, O great Nyame." "I will share it," he said. Act 2. The greedy spider's secret. Ananse carried the heavy pot back down to earth. But as he walked, his greedy mind began to spin a web of selfish thoughts. "If I share this wisdom," Ananse whispered to himself, "everyone will become just as smart as me. No, no, no. I must keep this magical pot all for myself. Then everyone will have to bow to me." First, Ananse tried to bury the pot under a thick, thorny bush. He dug and dug with his tiny legs. But just as he was about to drop the pot in, a little forest bird chirped from above. "What you doing there, Ananse?" Ananse gasped. "Oh no! This place is not safe. Someone will dig it up." He scrambled, pulling the pot out of the dirt. Ananse walked deeper into the forest until he stood before the tallest tree in the land, the mighty Baobab tree. Its trunk was as wide as a house, and its branches reached all the way to the clouds. "Perfect!" Ananse laughed. "I will hide the pot at the very top of this giant tree. Nobody will ever climb this high." Act 3. The Clumsy Climb. Ananse found a strong, thick vine. He wound it around the clay pot and tied it tightly, right against his belly. He wanted to make sure the pot was safe and close to him. Then he grabbed the rough bark of the tree and began to climb. But climbing a giant tree is not easy, especially when you have a big, heavy clay pot strapped to your stomach. Every time Ananse tried to lift his legs to climb, his knees went bump against the hard clay pot. "Ouch!" Ananse cried. He slipped down. He tried again. Bump! Double ouch! Ananse was getting tired, sweaty, and very frustrated. Now, what Ananse did not know was that his young son, Ntikuma, had quietly followed him into the forest. Ntikuma stood at the bottom of the tree, watching his father slip and slide, looking very silly. After watching his father struggle for a long time, Ntikuma called out in a sweet, clear voice, "Father, why are you struggling so much?" Act 4. Wisdom Scattered. Ananse stopped and looked down, panting for breath. "If you want to climb easily," Ntikuma suggested, "why don't you tie the pot of wisdom to your back instead? That way your hands and your knees will be completely free to climb." Ananse stopped. He tied the pot to his back and tried to climb. To his surprise, he zipped up the tree like a flash, but instead of being happy, Ananse became very angry. He stood on a high branch and thought, "I am holding the pot of all the wisdom in the world. Yet my tiny child who has never looked inside this pot is smarter than me." In a fit of jealous anger, Ananse untied the pot and hurled it down from the high branch. "If I cannot be the only wise one, then no one will have it." When he screamed, the clay pot fell down, and crash! It smashed against a large rock, breaking into 1,000 tiny pieces. But the wisdom could not be broken. As the pot shattered, a beautiful, glowing golden mist of wisdom exploded into the air. Act 5. The Beautiful Ending. The warm forest wind caught the golden dust and carried it far and wide. A little bit of wisdom landed in one village, teaching them how to fish. Another bit landed in a far-off town, teaching them how to build beautiful houses. It flew over mountains and oceans, reaching every person on earth. Ananse climbed down, feeling very humbled. He realized that trying to keep all the wisdom for himself was very foolish. And that, little storytellers, is why nobody knows everything. We all have a little bit of wisdom to share, and when we share our ideas, we make the whole world a brighter place.